We had a few showers and thunderstorms develop across the area earlier today. Those are now beginning to push to our east and generally away from mid-Michigan, although one or two additional showers or storms may pop up. So check out the temperatures. We're up to 90 in Lansing, 86 in Jackson, 90 in Howell. So our heat wave continues, although there is some cooler weather on the way over the next several days. Forecast for tonight, generally dry conditions, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one or two pop-up showers or storms late tonight and early tomorrow morning, with a better chance for rainfall by tomorrow. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
President Trump is now attempting to get rid of sanctuary cities and declares a public safety emergency in Washington, D.C. It's our top story at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. There are less than 24 sanctuary cities in the U.S., and according to the Trump administration, East Lansing is one of them. Today, President Trump spoke of a crackdown on those so-called cities and unveiled actions to reduce crime and homelessness in the nation's capital. Washington Bureau correspondent Trevor Shirley is here for you with the details.
The president says he plans to deploy the National Guard here in the nation's capital and federalize the local D.C. police force. This morning, President Trump held a press conference laying out more details of his plan. The goal, he says, is to make Washington, quote, safer and more beautiful than it ever was before. According to the president, under his authority from Section 740 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, he plans to place the D.C. Metro Police under direct federal control. The law allows him to do that for up to 30 days at a time, and he must notify Congress after 48 hours. President Trump said last week that he was considering ways for the federal government to seize control of Washington, asserting that crime was, quote, ridiculous. Data from the local D.C. Police Department and the FBI, though, indicate violent crime in D.C. is actually down 26% compared to this time last year. President Trump says those numbers aren't accurate. The president claims the crime in D.C. is on par with cities like Bogota and Mexico City and Chicago and Los Angeles. The president's crackdown comes about a week after a former DOJ staffer was attacked at night in D.C. 2 teenagers were arrested for the attack, which authorities say happened during an attempted carjacking. The president did not say how long he plans to use federal agencies for day-to-day law enforcement control in the nation's capital.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs and homeless people, and we're not going to let it happen anymore.
The president says he also plans to push Congress to eliminate no cash bail, but he wasn't clear if that was just for Washington, D.C., or to try to outlaw the practice nationally. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.
In Michigan, representatives from the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and Blue Cross Complete of Michigan announced the 2025 Strengthening the Safety Net grant recipients today. Together, the two organizations will provide $914,000 to support 45 safety net healthcare clinics across the state. Supporters say this will enable them to provide free or low-cost primary care, dental, and mental health services to Michigan residents. Some of those safety net healthcare clinics are in mid-Michigan and include His Healing Hands in Lansing, Vena Community Dental Center in Brighton, Shiawassee Free Medical Clinic in Owasso, St. Luke's Clinic in Jackson, and the University of Michigan Student-Run Clinic in Pinckney. Tonight, Lansing city officials could move on a plan to acquire dozens of tiny homes to help combat homelessness. 6 News reporter Taryn Simmons spoke to housing advocates and is here for you now with the story.
The clock is ticking as housing advocates urge city officials to make a decision on the people living at a homeless camp at Dietrich Park.
We desperately need to be investing right now in different types of shelter options, different types of transitional housing.
Homeless activist Khadija Erickson says she has been on the front line since day one, helping the residents living at the camp. Housing advocate Joanne Galloway says she's excited about the City Council's proposal to purchase Mod Pod multi-use structures, but has her concerns as to what the plan holds.
I want to make sure that as a city that we're this is being well thought out and we're being strategic, but I think it's really important that we make sure that we've got the right people at the table.
Carl Tilking, who says he was previously homeless and runs an organization to help the unhoused find affordable accommodations, says he hopes there will be change.
Homelessness has taken people before. I've witnessed people who, on the job, while serving the homeless shelter I lived in, I found people that passed. But the thing is that we need to be able to make long-range goals instead of short-range goals.
Erickson says no matter what, the proposed pods would be a step in the right direction.
Which will increase public health by reducing the amount of infectious diseases that are spread. It'll reduce the amount of overdoses, the amount of uses for emergency room.
Here for you in Lansing, Terrence Simmons, 6 News.
Well, happening right now in Lansing is a special meeting involving the Committee on Public Safety at City Hall. You're taking a live look at that meeting, which just wrapped up, where a resolution establishing tenant relocation fees is one of the things on the agenda. 6 News reporter Rachel Ramsey is at that meeting. She'll let you know what happened tonight on 6 News at 11. On the automotive front, Ford CEO Jim Farley and other officials introduced a new Ford Universal EV production system and a Ford Universal EV platform today. Ford says the Universal EV production system will simplify things for the people that build the vehicles and ease operations for the people who drive them. The plan is to deliver a family of affordable electric software-defined vehicles, the first of which is a $30,000 midsize 4-door electric pickup assembled in America at the Louisville, Kentucky assembly plant starting in 2027.
I'm so excited about today. We've been waiting 3 years for this moment. It represents the most radical change on how we design and how we build vehicles at Ford since the Model T.
Farley says Ford is investing approximately $2 billion in the project and creating or securing more than 2,000 jobs. Average statewide gas prices jumped up by 10 cents when compared to last week to $3.21 a gallon for regular unleaded. When looking at Greater Lansing gas prices, they're a bit cheaper, but barely, averaging $3.21 a gallon for regular unleaded. Drivers in Jackson are seeing an average of $3.26 a gallon. Today on National 811 Day, Consumers Energy is reminding customers of the steps they can take every day to make sure everyone stays safe around natural gas in Michigan. National 811 Day is named for August 11th, or 8/11. Its purpose is to remind the public to call 811, a free service to mark underground pipes and wires before putting a shovel into the ground. State law requires Michigan residents to contact Miss Dig, a free service that will contact utility companies to mark underground lines with stakes, flags, or paint. And for more information and tips for digging safely, head to our website, WLNS.com. You'll find more information there.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, today, much like the past several days, with very warm and muggy weather across mid-Michigan, we do have some changes on the way. Some cooler air is in the forecast, but just briefly and later this week. We look at the Doppler radar. All of our showers and storms so far today are now to our east and moving away from mid-Michigan. Of course, that's where all the lightning strikes are, so we'll likely see some quiet weather this evening, although a pop-up storm is still possible. Even into the overnight hours, an additional storm or two will be possible. You notice well to our west of Chicago, there's another area of disturbed weather with clouds and some showers showing up. That's going to eventually move in our direction and increase our rain chances significantly as we head into tomorrow. Now the humidity, it's here today, it's going to be there tonight, but it does start to take a downward trend as we head through Tuesday and then into Wednesday, a few days where it may actually feel comfortable at times, and then it'll ramp back up as we head into the weekend as the 90s will be set to return once more. Our high temperature trend, notice 90 again today. Temperatures over the next few days take a big nosedive all the way down to just above normal on Thursday at 83 degrees. Then we're back near 90 again for Saturday and Sunday. Then back in the lower 80s, which of course will be above average, just a few degrees, however, but probably a little more low humidity on the way by that point is too, so it may feel quite nice once again. Skyview Network this afternoon, 88 degrees currently. Notice the cumulus clouds trying to grow, so there's still some instability out there. Humidity at 60%, dew point of 72, so the heat index is up to 95 degrees. In Grand Ledge, mostly sunny skies, our temperature at 90, heat index of 96 with a dew point of 71, so obviously very sticky once again. In Hillsdale, we've got blue skies and a temperature of 80. That's a lot better. It only feels like it's 85 degrees. The dew point, though, is 74, which means if you begin to edge those numbers up a little bit, the heat index will climb just as quickly. A look at precision cast tonight through tomorrow morning. Not a whole lot happening, but notice maybe a couple showers and storms during the early morning hours. And then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, we'll probably see a few more showers and thunderstorms popping up, maybe slightly more widespread out there for the early evening hours. This will begin to settle south and east by Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, decreasing clouds are on the way. A lot of sunshine, but it will start to feel a little bit better. Temperatures out this afternoon, 90 for Lansing, 89 currently in Mason, 90 in Howell. To the south, readings 82 at the airport in Hillsdale, but upper 80s currently towards Adrian. Tonight, 71 the overnight low with just a slight chance of an isolated shower or storm, and more so towards 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Tomorrow's forecast, some showers and storms possible, especially as we move into tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures will climb into the mid 80s, so it's going to be warm once again, but not as warm. Temperatures near 84 on Wednesday, lower humidity for Thursday and Friday. Weekend looks hot, highs near 90 both days, chance for a few storms maybe on Sunday. In the following week, we're kind of hanging in the lower 80s, which is still above average, but it's going to feel a lot better. We've got lows in the 50s, which means it might actually feel refreshing.
It's funny that you just said that, because next week looks amazing, and you just said that's still above average,
right,
but it's going to feel amazing because of how hot this summer's been.
We get a strong cold front that almost gets us back to normal.
I'll take it.
Crazy.
All righty, we appreciate it.